All right, so the next part of our unit is fractions, and so we start with just some fraction basics. So the next 2 pages in your notes covers just some kind of basic fraction things. So in this video, we're just going to do the first 2 boxes. So this is fraction basics part 1. Okay, so we're going to look at improper fractions and mixed numbers and how to go back and forth with each of those. Okay, so in this first box, I've given you an improper fraction, and then we're going to change it to a mixed number. So we know this is an improper fraction because our numerator, the top number, is larger than our denominator, the bottom number. Okay, so whenever this happens, it's an improper fraction. Okay, we need to change it to a mixed number, which is where we have a whole number, and then the fraction part, the numerator is lower than the denominator. Okay, so in order to do this, we are basically seeing how many times our denominator can fit into our numerator without going over. So 6 can go into 25 4 times. So this makes our whole number. Okay, 6 times 4 is 24. So I'm really close, but I'm not going over. So by making 4 my whole number, we're taking 24 out of that 25. So that leaves us with 1 left in our numerator, and our denominator stays the same. Okay, so one more example here. 8 can go into 14 only once, so that makes our whole number. Okay, twice would be 16, and we don't have 16, we only have 14. So 8 times 1 gives me 8 that I'm taking away from my numerator. 14 subtract 8 leaves me with 6. Okay, so now I have a mixed number, but one thing you also have to pay attention to is it the simplest mixed number? And in this case, it is not. We can simplify or reduce this 6/8. So in order to do that, we're thinking, what can I divide 6 and 8 by? Okay, and I think about 2. I know I can divide 6 by 2. I know I can divide 8 by 2. So my whole number carries over, and I'm simplifying the fraction part. Okay, so 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. 8 divided by 2 gives me 4. So I didn't cut this in half because I'm dividing by 2 over 2, which means I'm actually dividing by 1. Okay, so I'm not changing the value by doing this. I'm just putting it in lowest terms. All right, so there are 4 examples for you to try, so I would like you to pause the video and do those, and then play to see your answers. All right, so let's see how you did. 9 can go into 33 times. 9 times 3 is 27, so that leaves me with 3 left over out of 9. Okay, I can reduce this fraction again, which gives me 3 1/3 there. So I'm just going to circle that. If I go down here, 8 can go into 67 whole times. 8 times 7 is 56, so that leaves me with 4. Okay, I can reduce that again to get 7 1/2. Okay, so I was dividing by 4 over 4 there. And then this one, 5 can go into 18 3 whole times. 5 times 3 is 15. So that leaves you with 3/5, and I don't need to simplify that one. 13, this is probably the largest denominator I've given you here. So if you needed to kind of multiply 13 times 1, 13 times 2, 13 times 3, you would figure out that 13 can go into 43 whole times. 13 times 3 is 39, so we get really, really close with 1 left over. and then we do not need to simplify that one. So that's going from an improper fraction to a mixed number. Okay, sometimes it's helpful to go the reverse way. So it's important to be able to take a mixed number and change it back into an improper fraction. So we're kind of going in reverse in this next box. So in order to do this, we are basically getting rid of our whole number. Okay, so for this example, realize one of these wholes represents 4/4. Okay, so 4/4 is one whole. So each whole we have represents 4. So the shortcut is to actually multiply your whole number and your denominator. And that's going to tell us how many to put back into our numerator. So 2 times 4 is 8, and then I have to put that together with my 3. So I'm going to multiply the bottom and then add the top. Multiply the bottom, add the top. So 2 times 4 is 8, plus 3 gives me 11, and the denominator stays the same. So this is going backwards to the improper fraction. So here, multiply my whole number and my denominator. 6 times 7 is 42. Add in the numerator that I already have to get 46. Keep the denominator. All right, so pause and try the next 4 and then play to check your answers. So 4 times 5 gives me 20, plus 2 gives me 22 over 5. 8 times 3 is 24, plus 2 gives me 26 over 3. 3 times 9 is 27, plus 5 gives me 32 over 9. Keep that denominator. Last one, 1 times 11 is still just 11, so when I add the 8, I get 19 over 11. Okay, so we're going to stop here for part 1. Part 2 will fill in the next couple boxes.